The galaxy had almost given up. For 5 long years, the Galactic Alliance fought a terrible enemy called the Void Dominion. Every battle ended the same way. Planets burned. Fleets disappeared. Millions of brave soldiers never came home. No one had found a way to stop the enemy. Inside the Grand Council Hall, silence filled the room. Giant screens showed one red warning after another. Another defense fleet had fallen. Another important world was lost. The leaders looked at each other with fear in their eyes. "We cannot win," one commander whispered. Another leader slowly stood up. "Maybe it is time to surrender." No one answered. At the far end of the room sat Admiral Varric, the oldest officer still alive. His face showed years of war. He quietly looked at an old star map hanging on the wall. "There is one choice left," he said. Everyone turned toward him. "Call humanity." The room exploded with angry voices. "They have stayed away from galactic wars for 50 years. They will never come. What can one small human fleet do against this enemy?" Admiral Varric slowly shook his head. "I did not say we needed a fleet." The room became silent. "I hope they send only one warship." Confused faces filled the hall. Before anyone could ask why, the emergency signal was sent toward Earth. Hours passed. Nothing. Then every screen inside the council hall flashed bright blue. A single message had arrived. It contained only 5 words. "One warship is already coming." No explanation. No warning. Nothing else. At that same moment, deep in empty space, long-range sensors detected one unknown ship crossing the edge of the galaxy. The Void Dominion suddenly stopped attacking. Its massive fleets changed direction together. For the first time in the entire war, the enemy was moving toward only one human warship. The entire galaxy watched the unknown human ship move through space. It was not the largest ship. It was not the fastest ship. Compared to the massive war fleets of the Void Dominion, it looked almost forgotten. Its outer armor was covered with scars from old battles. Some parts of the ship looked older than many alien civilizations. There were no hundreds of escort ships around it. No giant human fleet followed behind. There was only one ship. The Alliance commanders could not understand it. "Is this a mistake?" one alien officer asked. "Did Earth really send only this?" Many leaders began to lose hope again. They believed humanity had misunderstood the situation. They thought the humans had sent a symbol instead of a weapon. But then something strange happened. The Void Dominion stopped moving. Millions of enemy ships that had destroyed entire worlds suddenly became silent. The enemy fleet did not attack. It waited. Inside the Alliance Command Center, Admiral Varric watched the screens carefully. "They know that ship," he said. Nobody believed him. How could they know it? That ship has been hidden for centuries. The old admiral looked at the human symbol on the ship's hull. "Because this is not a new ship. It is the return of a legend." Deep inside the Alliance archives, hidden records began to open. Ancient files that had not been touched for hundreds of years appeared on their screens. They showed stories about a human warship that once ended impossible battles. A ship that defeated enemies 10 times stronger. A ship that vanished after protecting the galaxy from a threat nobody remembered. The aliens had forgotten its name, but the Void Dominion had not. Suddenly, every enemy commander received the same order: do not engage the human vessel. Fear spread across the galaxy. The creatures that had never shown mercy were afraid of one ship. Then, for the first time, the human warship opened a communication channel. A calm human voice reached every battlefield. "We came because you asked for help." A short silence followed. Then the captain added, "But you should have ended this war before we arrived." For a few seconds, the entire galaxy was silent. The human captain's message spread across every communication network. The Alliance waited. The Void Dominion waited. Nobody knew what would happen next. Then the enemy made its choice. Thousands of warships moved forward at the same time. The darkness of space filled with millions of weapons. The Void Dominion had destroyed entire civilizations with the same attack pattern. They believed one human ship could not survive. The human warship did not move. Inside the Alliance Command Center, officers watched in fear. "Why is it not firing?" one commander asked. Admiral Varek remained calm, because it is not afraid. The first wave of enemy ships reached the human vessel. Then something impossible happened. A single bright signal moved across space. No explosion, no massive energy wave, just silence. One by one, enemy ships disappeared from the battlefield. The Alliance watched in shock as a human warship destroyed entire attack groups in seconds. The Void Dominion changed tactics. They attacked from every direction. But the human ship moved like it already knew every enemy move before it happened. Its weapons were faster than thought. Its defenses were stronger than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Alien commanders stared at their screens with disbelief. That technology should not exist. How can one ship do this? The answer was simple. Humanity had spent centuries preparing, not to conquer, not to rule, but to survive. For the first time in years, the galaxy saw hope. Planets that had already accepted defeat began celebrating. Soldiers who thought they would never see victory again started fighting with new courage. But the Void Dominion was not finished. Deep inside their command ship, the enemy leader watched the battle. His fleets were falling. His greatest weapon was failing. Yet he smiled. "Good," he said. The other commanders looked confused. "Let the human ship destroy our fleets, because now we know what it can do." A hidden door opened behind him. Inside was a weapon that had never been used. A weapon created for one purpose: to destroy humanity. The final message reached the battlefield. "Activate the extinction weapon." The words echoed through the enemy command ship. Activate the extinction weapon. Across the galaxy, the Void Dominion began moving again. The Alliance thought the battle was already won. They had watched the human warship destroy thousands of enemy vessels without fear. But Admiral Varek noticed something strange. The enemy was no longer attacking the human ship. They were preparing something bigger. "Something is wrong," he said, moments later. Every sense in the galaxy detected a massive energy source coming from the center of the Void Dominion fleet. The aliens had hidden their greatest weapon for centuries, a weapon powerful enough to erase planets. Fear returned to the Alliance. Even the human warship became still. For the first time, everyone wondered if humanity had finally found an enemy it could not defeat. The extinction weapon fired. A wave of dark energy crossed space at impossible speed. Every screen went white. Millions watched as the attack reached the human warship. Then, nothing happened. When the light disappeared, the human ship was still there, not damaged, not broken, not even moving. The entire galaxy went silent. Inside the enemy command ship, their leaders could not believe what they were seeing. Impossible. That weapon destroyed worlds. Why is a human ship still alive? The human captain finally responded. His voice was calm. "Because we built this ship to survive things like that." The Alliance leaders listened carefully as the truth was revealed. Long ago, humanity had discovered that the galaxy was full of dangers, ancient wars, unknown enemies, and threats hidden beyond the stars. Earth did not build weapons to control others. Earth built them because humanity refused to disappear. The legendary warship was not humanity's strongest creation. It was only the first one. For centuries, humans stayed silent because they wanted peace. But the Void Dominion made one mistake. They attacked the only species that had prepared for the worst possible future. The human captain looked at the enemy fleet. "Your mistake was thinking we were weak because we were peaceful." Then the warship systems came online. New weapons appeared. Weapons the galaxy had never seen before. And the captain gave one final order: begin the second phase. The moment the human captain gave the order, the galaxy changed forever. The legendary warship moved forward. For the first time, the Void Dominion fleet began to retreat. The same enemy that had destroyed thousands of planets was now afraid of a single ship, but their supreme commander refused to accept defeat. "All remaining fleets attack together," he ordered. Across the battlefield, millions of enemy ships surrounded the human warship. The Alliance watched in fear. Even after seeing humanity's power, they believed no ship could survive against such impossible numbers. Admiral Varek looked at the screen and whispered, "Now we will see why they sent only one." The Void Dominion launched everything they had. Missiles filled space. Energy weapons burned through the darkness. Massive battleships moved like a storm toward a human vessel. Then the human warship answered. Its hidden systems activated. A powerful shield covered the ship. Ancient weapons opened. Every shot had a purpose. Every movement was perfect. The enemy fleet that once looked unstoppable began breaking apart. But something unexpected happened. The human captain did not fight alone. Seeing humanity's courage, the Alliance fleets returned to the battlefield. Alien soldiers who once believed the war was lost followed the human ship into battle. They were no longer fighting because they hoped to survive. They were fighting because they believed they could win. Slowly, the balance changed. World after world received the same message. The galaxy is fighting back. Inside the Void Dominion command ship, fear replaced confidence. Their commanders watched their empire collapse. "This cannot be happening," one officer said. "We defeated every enemy before." The Supreme Commander looked at the human warship approaching through the battlefield. "No, this is different." The human ship was not just a weapon. It was a symbol, a reminder that some enemies should never be awakened. Then a massive signal appeared on every screen. The largest Void Dominion warship had entered the battle. The enemy's final weapon had arrived. The Supreme Commander sent one message. "Humanity face our strongest ship." The human captain looked at the approaching giant vessel and smiled. Finally, the real battle begins. The final battle had arrived. Across the darkness of space, the two greatest ships in the galaxy faced each other. On one side stood the Void Dominion's ultimate warship. It was larger than a city, covered with thousands of weapons, and built from the strongest materials the enemy had ever created. On the other side was the human warship, smaller, older, alone, but the entire galaxy knew which ship they feared. The enemy fired first. A storm of energy attacks rushed toward the human vessel. The human ship moved through the attack like it already knew the future. The captain watched calmly. "Prepare the final system." The crew followed the order. For centuries, humanity had hidden this technology, not because it was weak, because it was too powerful. The human warship released a single energy wave. The enemy flagship's weapons stopped. Its shields failed. Its entire system went silent. The Void Dominion commander finally understood. Humanity was never trying to win this war. Humanity was trying to end it. The human captain opened a communication channel. "Your empire destroyed worlds because you believed nobody could stop you." A long silence followed. But every war has a final moment. The enemy flagship surrendered. Across the galaxy, millions watched as the impossible happened. The war that had lasted years was over. The Void Dominion fell. Planets that had lost all hope finally saw the light of peace. The Galactic Council offered humanity control of the galaxy. They believed the species that saved them should become their leader. But the human captain refused. "We did not come here to rule you. We came because you needed help." The legendary warship slowly turned away and disappeared into deep space. Years later, children across the galaxy learned the story of the day everything changed. They remembered the enemy that almost destroyed them. They remembered the battle they almost lost. And they remembered one simple truth. When the galaxy was losing the war, humanity did not send an army. Humanity sent one warship.